The Social Sisters want to give you an exclusive look inside the Raiderettes training facility.
Growing up here in Las Vegas, we never had a professional sports team to cheer for.
But that all changed just a few years ago when the Raiders came to our city. And with the NFL team came the cheerleaders, the fabulous Raiderettes.
A lot of hard work and practice goes into being an NFL cheerleader. So we thought it would be cool to learn more about the team.
So let's head inside.
The couch has made its way to Henderson to Raiderettes the studio.
And to make sure that they are game day ready, they are led by a powerhouse coach who is our guest today.
She's performed, competed, coached, traveled the world. She's done it all. And now she's the director of the Las Vegas Raiderettes.
So please welcome to the couch, Coach Tiff McNiff. Tiff, it's so great to see you. Thanks for having us here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
And I love that we all got the same memo with our outfits today, but you have the sparkles. You look great.
Thank you. Yeah, very on point.
Yes, I love it. All right, well, let's jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about your story, your journey, how you got to where you are now.
Wow. Well, I started dancing when I was 3, and my mom actually put me in dance because my feet were very turned in, and I had really no rhythm at all, and she thought it would be something to help me correct that. And through that, I just found a passion for dance and started loving it. My path and dream my entire life was to be a professional ballerina. I got so many injuries, and my career path had to take a turning point, and it was my mom who said, "Why don't you try to be a professional cheerleader?" And I was not interested in the idea at first, and I went for it, and I eventually found myself as a Raiderette, which has led me to being the coach now.
It's amazing. And I'm a proud UCLA Bruin, and I know that you coached at UCLA. Tell me a little bit about your experience in Los Angeles.
Oh my gosh, it was incredible. Working with a talented group of both men and women was incredible. Actually, one of our dance captains, Devin, now works here at the studio, who was the first male on the UCLA dance team. But the history and the tradition and the legacy of UCLA is incredible, and there's no feeling like performing at the Rose Bowl. So, and Poly. I mean, basketball season was amazing.
Can't go wrong with Poly Pavilion.
You really can't.
I didn't even go to UCLA, and I know that is something unlike anywhere else.
Yeah.
And all of that obviously led you to Las Vegas now. What's the experience been like now out here in this city, and what's just been your favorite part?
Oh my gosh, I mean, it's Las Vegas, so there's something to see, there's something to do every single day. So I'm really getting immersed into the culture of the city, which is incredible. And any day of the week you can go see a show. That's been my favorite pastime, is seeing pretty much every show on the Strip and trying to take back my favorite parts and figuring out how I can integrate that into our program. So just really being a part of the city of Las Vegas, and then in addition to that, really bringing the fans an experience here, because I cheered in Oakland, and there's nothing like the Raiders fans. We have the best fans in the entire world. So trying to bring the sense of community here to Henderson has been really special.
Yeah, and we're in such a unique situation out here, having the Raiders come to our city, building Allegiant Stadium, so many changes for especially people who grew up in Vegas to kind of see the sports world change.
Yeah.
What would you say though you've kind of had to overcome? I'm sure there's been some challenges along the way that, maybe no one has ever dealt with before.
Well, I think from a dance perspective, everyone's an industry dancer. So just getting acclimated to the style that is the Raiderette style. But we definitely have no lack of talent. You have performers coming from all over the world to be here. So it's really a blessing, because we're on the biggest stage in the world. At any point in a game, we can be performing with anyone from Little John to T-Pain to Ice Cube. So my team has just been afforded these incredible opportunities, and if we weren't in Las Vegas, we wouldn't have those opportunities.
Yeah, and we always say, sports out here, it's a show, it's a production, everything's crazy. And so we want to ask about the hair and the makeup, and what's a normal day look like on game day, getting ready, and what is the timeline like?
Oh man, so we start at the actual crack of dawn. We arrive at the studio at 6 o'clock in the morning. Our bus leaves at 6:15. We go over to the stadium, go through security, put our stuff down, go into the locker room. We have an hour field rehearsal, get all the kinks out, make sure everything looks great. And then typically we have a halftime rehearsal. If there's a halftime, go upstairs, do a quick walkthrough with the performer, which is so cool. You get to really see a behind the scenes look of what that looks like for these, major artists and being a part of their show. And then come back to the locker room, have about 2 hours to get ready. Thankfully, we have an incredible hair and makeup team, Miguel Julio Beauty. He gets us ready every single game. And then we start doing appearances. We do everything from performing at the tailgate in the parking lot to being in suites. We have about 7 appearances a game. So we are working, it's about a 13-hour day. And you're working about 4 hours before the game even starts. So,
wow,
got to be on your game.
I don't
think
people realize.
We put a lot of steps in that day.
There's so much that goes into it. It's not just show up, cheer at a game, and leave. Like, it is a whole day's worth of activities.
Yeah, but it's the best. It's the best memories. There's only 10 home games, so as fast as it goes, you always wish there was more. You love it.
Yeah, you got to make those count, though, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So even before you get to game day, before you're on the team, the audition process, that's a big one. And we have all seen the shows on TV. You wonder if that's what it's like in real life. I've seen a little bit of it, but take me through. Would you say it's kind of how everyone imagines, or it's a little bit more than that?
I think there's more than that. Our audition process is 2 weeks long, so we're actually starting this May. Really excited about it. And we're gonna be putting on a stage show this year. So we have it somewhere here on the Strip, which is gonna be so cool. And it's a 2-week process. People from all over the country and world come and just give it their best shot. The first day they dance, learn a routine from a video, perform 3 at a time, and then we cut anywhere from 600 or 300 down to 75. And then throughout the week we have business interviews, we have photo shoots, we have rehearsals, and then by Saturday is the finals. We'll have it narrowed down to 50. So you're going from anywhere to 600 to 50 is incredible, and only 32 to 34 people actually make the squad.
Oh my gosh, I know that it's an intense process, and it's about more though than just the dancing. You mentioned the interviews, and you guys are out in the public eye, you're doing appearances. How important is it for you to find teammates who are just well-rounded?
Well, that's number one for us. Number one priority is that we find people that are the right fit. We're looking for women who are ambassadors in the community. We're looking for people who are great role models. In addition to cheering on the sideline and doing community events, we now opened our dance studio to the public. So we're teaching kids. We have kids ages 3 years. My daughter's 3, she took her class yesterday. 3 years up to adult taking classes. So you really want to find people who are great representatives, just not of our organization, but the city of Henderson and the city of Las Vegas.
It's a lot of girls and a lot of people coming together, and we really want to talk about celebrating women in sports because finally I feel like women are getting the light that they deserve. What's it like, being a woman, leading all these women, and kind of just empowering women as you go?
I mean, it's my dream. It's the best feeling in the entire world. I'm so fortunate to be a part of an organization that values women and that gives us a platform to lead and so many opportunities outside of, being Raiderettes. These women are leaders in the community and have full-time careers. And because of our ownership, we were able to have a dance studio. No other team in the entire league has a dance studio. We're able to give them the salary and pay that they deserve. So we are just a part of something really special here, and it's amazing to feel valued and appreciated.
Absolutely. I think that's the most important thing, and to just be surrounded by all of these powerful women as well. That has to be so fun for you. And you've already grown this program so much. Do you have more goals, or where do you see things going from here?
Oh, well, this is what keeps me up at night. This is what I sit in my bed and thinking about, what am I going to do next year? How can I do this better? What can we make bigger? And my wheels are constantly spinning. But the first thing that I would love long term is some sort of a show on the Strip. Whether it be we're performing at a local venue on a consistent basis, or long term have our own. But there's just so many cool opportunities here. We've been able to, perform on TV shows and live shows. There's always something here in Las Vegas. So hopefully continuing to grow the brand. Our brand is known worldwide, but grow the Raiderettes brand, continue to build our studio, and really give kids in the community an opportunity to have those role models and to have those leaders. I know growing up, my dance teachers were actually all 49ers Gold Rush cheerleaders. And I grew up in Fresno, and I looked up to them so much. All I wanted to do as a little girl was someday be a professional cheerleader. So I hope that we can provide a safe space for both boys and girls to come and feel welcome and have fun, and hopefully inspire them in the future to pursue their goals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was a cheerleader, so I know that, and not a professional on the high school level, let's clarify that. But I know how important it is to have a coach who is uplifting and inspiring. And being a coach is more than a coach. You're really a mentor and a friend and so many other things. What is your relationship like with all of the girls on the team?
I would say I'm kind of like a mom figure. I love my team. I would do anything for my team, but I think they know that they can come to me with whatever it is. My phone is ringing off the hook constantly. I wouldn't change it for the world though. Outside of being cheerleaders, number one, we always tell them you're people first, and we want to make sure that they're taken care of and mentally doing well and in a good place so they can perform to their best ability. But I think my relationship with them is that of like a mom-like figure, I guess.
I'm sure they're so grateful for you too. You're a friend, a mom, a coach. You do it all. How do you balance it all at once?
It's a lot. It is a lot to balance, and I think that's always something I'm working on and figuring out how to manage my time better so I can feel more well-rounded when it comes to my family and my career and all these things. I wish I had an answer to that. I don't. I just try to do the best I can every day. That's all you can do. But I'm part of an organization that values family and supports me, so I'm able to do both.
Well, and speaking of your daughter coming to classes and empowering the youth, you're working with all ages. We were talking a little bit. Tell us about the high rollers. That is such a cool concept that you guys have going on.
Yes, so really cool. Our owner, Mark Davis, owns the Las Vegas Aces. And last year I was approached by someone in their organization that said, we really want to add to this game day entertainment. What do you think about doing a 50 and over dance team? And we would want you to coach and lead it. And I just said, I love it. I think that's so fun. I haven't, obviously I couldn't have thought of that idea, but it's more than I ever anticipated. The men and women on our team are just so incredibly talented. Last year we had this idea. We decided to give it a shot, and we had about 30 people try out. We took about 21 on the team, and this year we had over 200 people apply, over 105 audition, and then we narrowed it down to the top 20. And out of those 20, we have dancers who were, dancers for Prince. They have been on Broadway. They were in Vegas shows. They did the very first opening of Siegfried and Roy and were the dancers in that. We have such a cool group of people. Last night was actually our first team meeting, and they went around the circle and introduced themselves. And there were so many connections that people had. One lady's like, I danced with you in the 80s. So just being able to see what that's evolved into is more than I ever expected. Yeah, it's cool.
And that's really cool that it just shows how much our city is growing into a sports town, and we just didn't have that before. And I think the fans are extra excited out here. We know that we are. Have you seen that at the games and just at your appearances? Like, is that fun for you to be part of that?
It's the best. Raider fans are the best. Raider Nation, there's nothing like it. But when you bring in people from the community, we have kids coming in to take class all week. And last week, a grandma came in with her granddaughter and was like, I'm not a football fan, but I'm a Raiderette fan, and I'm going to come to the games now because, a Raiderette's teaching her granddaughter. And so we're really building a sense of community here. And anytime we interact with the fans, we see people drive by our studio all the time. We're parked in front and take pictures. We try to run out a photo card and say hi to them, but they have so much pride for our organization, and not just that, but the city of Las Vegas, which is so cool. It's really become the home team, and it feels like a big family now.
And you get to be part of that. That is so special, and it's cool to kind of see it continue to grow. We'll look back on this one day and be like, we were there when it first started, and then to what it is now. And speaking of game days, you said you've worked with a lot of different performers. Do you have a favorite moment or memory or someone you really enjoyed working alongside?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think for the Raiders, our first game in 2021, because obviously the world shut down during the pandemic, and our stadium was set to be unveiled in 2020. And because of the pandemic, everything shut down and we didn't have the opportunity to cheer that year. So that first game was unlike anything I've ever been at in my entire life. We just had all these incredible performers. Ice Cube performed, and just the pre-game performance of someone singing "All Rise Up," and we had all just come out of this pandemic, and here we are, like shoulder to shoulder, a full stadium. It just goes to show, you know, what grit we have as a country and how we were able to overcome and come out of this together. It was so special. I think that moment will last forever with me. And then cheering, obviously touring, going on tour, and performing for our men and women in the military was really special.
Yeah, you went to Iraq, you said, for 2 weeks, and you now have girls that are doing a similar program, traveling for 2 weeks. Like, that just shows how many doors open up by being part of an organization like this. And it's just got to be so rewarding for you and everyone on the other side to get these experiences and have those moments, right?
Yeah, I mean, I started with this organization when I was 20 years old. And now here I am, more than a decade later, with a child of my own, and I'm leading this incredibly strong group of women. And if I wasn't a part of this organization, I would have never had this opportunity. So our motto is once a Raider, always a Raider, and that really has rang true to my life, which is really special.
And you're truly leaving a legacy, building this team, like we said, from the beginning, and it's amazing to watch. So.
Thank you, I love it. I'm really lucky to love what I do, and I know you guys feel the same in your industry, being able to work with people that you love and being a part of something that you love. It doesn't really feel like a job.
Well, thank you for sharing everything with us. Oh, and before we wrap up, you just have to tell the story. You're telling us you had a director's chair yourself. We need to find it. It was pink?
It was hot pink. It looked just like this, and it was embroidered with my name on the back. And I had it in my room as a little girl all through my teenage years. And I did my first or second solo performance ever at a dance competition in the chair, and I danced to I'm a Blonde. Very cringy now. Very, very cringe, but it was giving like Elle Woods before Elle Woods. But
we'll have to make you one. And
yes, I love it. So cute.
Yeah, you're officially part of our Social Sisters family. So seriously, thank you so much for sharing everything. Congratulations on everything so far. I feel like you're only just getting started out here too, so I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much.
And of course, we have to say it. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders. Go Raiders. Thank you so much, Tiff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you're interested in sharing your story, send us a message. And don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe.
Because in our family, there's room for everyone.